Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you are welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorials on my channel. If you're a old member, you are welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft and sew this wrap top step by step. So if you want to know how I'll be going about it, keep on watching. First thing I did was to go ahead and fold my paper into two, and the next thing I'll do is to go ahead and draw a straight line, which is going to be my guideline. I will take my shoulder measurement, which is 14. 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I will mark that up. I'm going to go down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. I'll move now to my armhole depth. If you don't know how to get your armhole depth, divide around your bust by 6, then you add 1.5 inch to it. I will mark here and connect that up with a straight line. Once I'm done doing so, I will go in now for the neck depth of 1 inch, but if you want, you can go down up to 1.5 inch. It's fine. Then I'll go for the neck width of 3 inch. Once I'm done doing so, I'll go ahead to connect that up. Then I'll connect my shoulder slope as well. I'll come here, measure up whatever I have and divide it by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075. I'll come in by ½ inch. Then I'm going to come here, I'll put 1/4 of the bust measurement. Around my bust is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll add 1 inch for the sewing allowance, and I'm going to connect it up like this. Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead now to mark up the length of the top, which I'm working with is 15 inch, but I'll be adding 1 inch for the hemming allowance. Connect it up with a straight line. I'll go ahead to put 1/4 of the waist. Around my waist is 28. 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inch. I'll mark that up, and I'm going to be adding my 1 inch for my darts allowance. After doing so, I'll go ahead now to connect that up like this. Next thing I will do now is to take the nipple to nipple, which is 8 inch divided by 2 is going to give me 4. I will mark that up, then I'll connect it up with a straight line. Then I'll come from my chest line. I'm going to go down by 2 inch. That's to get the nipple point. I'm going to come in by ½ inch and go out by ½ inch. Connect that up. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead now. I'll be adding 3/4 inch for the sewing allowance. I'll just go ahead now, cut that up, and we'll be using this to cut up the back first before cutting the front. I'll just go ahead and fold my paper again into 2. This is for the sleeve, okay? After folding your paper into 2, you will draw a starting point. Next thing you're going to do is to mark the sleeve cap. If you don't know how to get a sleeve cap, is take round the bust and divide it by 12, and you're going to add ½ inch to it. It's normally between 4 and 5 inch, but I'm marking 4.5 inch here. I'll go ahead now and connect it up with a straight line. I'll take round my armhole divided by 2, which is 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I will mark that up. I'll connect it up with a straight line. I'll measure up whatever I have and divide it by 2. I'll mark the midpoint. Then I'll go up by ½ inch. I'll come here and measure up whatever I have and divide it again by 2. I also mark the midpoint. Then I'll go down by ½ inch as well. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I will connect it up. Look at what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to flip up the French curve like so. I'm going to connect that up. Look at how I'm placing up the French curve. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and connect it all the way straight. But first of all, you have to mark up the length of your sleeve, okay? Depending on how long it is, you go ahead and mark that up. And we're going to just connect it all the way to the length with a straight line, like so. Once I'm done doing so, then I'll go ahead and cut that up. When I'm done cutting that up, I'm going to come here. I will go up by 1½ inch. That's because I don't want it to be straight at the downer part. You can go up by 1½ or 1 inch, okay? And then you cut that up. When we are done cutting that up, we are going to open it up and trim up the armhole of the front, because you know it's much deeper than the armhole of the back, okay? When I'm done, we're going to use up our pattern to cut the back and the front. I'm just marking the back and the front, okay? I'll use that's the pattern we'll create to cut up the back. Then later on, we'll go ahead to modify it to be able to cut up the front. I hope I'm understood. If you see, I leave about some certain allowance for the back. You know, the armhole of the back is not that deep like the armhole of the front. You want to decide where you want the wrap to start from. If you can decide to start right from the side seam, you go up by 2½ inch, or you can just do it the way I did, which is from the center I will go in by 5 inch, then go up by 2½ inch. I will be marking the both sides, so you should know which one actually you want. This is the first one that this is what I'm going to be using, which is from the center you go in by 5 inch, or you connect it all the way to the side seams. You still go up by 2 inch, which is what I did. I connect it up like this. You choose, if you want the side, you just go ahead and cut it up like that. But I'm not working with the side. I'll be going in with the this inner part. See what I just did? Like I said, if you want the side, you have to cut it up like this. There's no need for you to cut up the center. You go ahead and fold your fabric right side facing each other. Remember, fold your fabric right side facing each other. Then you place up your pattern on it. You're going to cut that up and add ½ inch at the top for the sewing allowance. I'm going to go ahead and cut that up. once we're done doing so, we'll also cut up the sleeve and notch where your dart is going to start from. I've cut my two sleeve. I'll just notch where the front sleeve, that's the front armhole, is. So when I'm joining it, I should know that I have the front and the back armhole. So I have my pieces right there. I went ahead and cut my two sleeve as well, and I also cut the lining for the front piece and the back piece as well, just a small tiny lining for the back piece. I'm going to go ahead, I'll be placing right side facing each other. I'll pin that up, and I'm also going to do the same thing to the front piece. Cut a small lining and pin that up like this. We'll take and stitch while leaving the downer part open, so that we'll be able to add up our straps to it. Then I also cut some two pieces for my strap, which is 5 by how long you want it to be. I'll just be folding that to 2, and I will stitch that up. And remember that you also have to stitch your dart allowance, which is what I'm doing here right now. This is my straps, okay? I cut it 5-inch, meaning that I'll place the right side facing each other. I'll stitch all the way to the end. Then later on, I'll flip it to the right side. Once I'm done doing so, we'll just go ahead now. This is the straps, okay? I've already turned and pressed that up. This is my back piece. I've already pressed it up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be joining up the shoulder of it, okay? I'll go ahead now to join the shoulder. Look at how I'm doing it. I will place it up right here at the center at this edge. Then I'll take the lining and cover it up. That way, when we'll stitch and then flip that up, it will be neat. I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. Look at where I'm placing it. Go ahead and pin that up. After pinning, you take it to the machine. You're going to secure it. That's to stitch that up, trim it up. When you're done stitching, this is what it look like. You flip it out, okay? Sorry, you flip it out and you have it neat as this. You see what I have here, okay? It's very, very neat. You do the same thing to the other side. Now we're going to go ahead to join up the sleeve. I've already joined one sleeve of it. I will show you on how to do so with the other side of the sleeve. You're going to place it up like this. Take up your sleeve. You fold it up like this. Notch the center. And once I'm done notching the center, I will place it up with the center of the shoulder, placing right side facing right side. Then I'll go ahead and I'm going to just pin only this center here. Then I will stitch that up, okay? Then when I'm stitching, I will arrange it up so it should fit perfectly all the way to the end. Now, when I'm done doing so, I will join the side seams of the both sleeve and the top. But go ahead, if you have an overlock machine, you overlock that up. I'm going to be pinning the side seam, then I'll go ahead to stitch that up. I'll not actually pin it. If you're a beginner, pin as much as you can. I'll not be pinning that up. I'll just place it up, go ahead and stitch that all the way to the other end. Once I'm done doing so, this is what it look like. I'm going to go ahead now and add up the straps to it. Open it up, open your lining, then you're going to place the straps at the middle point or at the center point. Take your lining, cover it up, then you pin that up. After pinning, we'll take it to the machine and we're going to stitch that up. When I'm done stitching that up, I will trim off the excess I don't need. Okay, then you're going to turn it up like this to see if everything is good and neat. After doing so, what I'm going to do is I will be hemming the sleeve by 1/2 inch. I'll also hem the downer part and we'll be done with this top. So I hope you find this tutorial helpful. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much.